Hey guys, gals, Jay Massey here. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do something special because we had our highest download month. I am going to give you all a free copy of the ebook, Cashflow Diary, 10 Steps to Creating Wealth in Any Economy. All you got to do is send a text message. Text the word book to the number 72000. That's 72,000. Send a text message with the word book to that number and you'll be able to get a free copy of the ebook.
Welcome to yet another exciting episode of the Cashflow Diary podcast, the podcast that teaches you insider tips, tactics, and strategies for creating leverage streams of cash flow into your life. Learn from top performing entrepreneurs, business owners, investors, and thought leaders from across the globe as they share their secrets to success. Like what you learn on this and other Cashflow Diary podcast episodes? Go to learninvestingnow.com and sign up to receive powerful tips and information that will help you succeed as an entrepreneur and investor. Now, here's your host, investor, entrepreneur, business owner, educator, speaker, author, and master facilitator of Robert Kiyosaki's Cashflow game, Jay Massey.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Cashflow Diary podcast. I'm your host, Jay Massey, and guess what? Many of you have complained. You have said, you have given the excuse. You said, I would do more real estate if I just had somebody to go look at the property, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, today, we're going to remove that excuse. From your vocabulary, you will no longer be able to say, I don't know how I can get someone to go look at the property. Now, you'll probably come up with a different excuse, but that's okay. We'll tackle that excuse in a future episode. For now, what I want you to do is I want you to understand that what we do as entrepreneurs is we solve problems. You survey the market, you find out a problem, you solve it for people, you let them know it exists, and boom, that's how business is done. And get this, today, we are coming to you from the hotbed of technology out there in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. You're like, what? How is that possible? Well, that's the thing. The solution can come from anywhere. The marketplace does not care. And today's guest, Robin Smith, did exactly that. Came up with an idea. And yes, she's from Oklahoma. And yes, she did grow up on a farm. And that's okay. Because I'm betting all of the reasons that she made her business work happened because of how she grew up. But let's listen. Let's learn. And most importantly, if you're wondering what company I'm talking about, it's WeGoLook.com. And help me welcome Miss Robin Smith. Robin, you there?
I'm here, and thank you so much. That was great. Thank you.
You're quite welcome. And I love the concept of your company and everything that you do. And I'm sure many people are curious right now. We go look what that is, but we're not going to tell them just yet. Here's what I'm going to do. Now, I'm going to ask you the same first question that I ask everybody, which they know and you don't, which right now might cause you to be a little scared, but that's okay. It's simple. I look at today's entrepreneurs a lot like yesterday's superheroes. You know, you take Wonder Woman, Batman, Robin, Black Widow, whomever. And I think entrepreneurs are the same. Occasionally, we get dressed up. Occasionally, we might, think we should wear a mask or a cape. And we go around using our special skills and abilities to help and solve other people's problems. Also, like a superhero, though, before, Spidey was climbing on walls, he got bit. But before that happened, he was just a normal, regular person. Yep. But it meant he had an origin story. He came from somewhere, something inspired him to become who he is today. So with that in mind, what I want to know is before you came up with what I think is one of the best ideas I have seen in a long time, who is Robin Smith?
Oh, thanks. Well, it's I'll have to say that I feel like I was born an entrepreneur. It kind of started in second grade when I started making yarn belts on the playground.
Yes.
And selling them in school colors. And then I coerced some of my friends to also make yarn belts. And then the principal shut us down. And so I moved over to Christmas decorations and made Christmas ornaments and sold them outside of school. But I kind of always loved that word. I loved reading. And like you said, growing up on a farm, my family they were pioneers. And I just kind of always loved that whole pioneer spirit that was instilled in me. But I kind of took a life path of wanting to do a lot of different things. And then my husband passed away about 14 years ago, and I had 2 sons, and I told myself I wanted to be at home after school. And so I started my own consulting company then and started working with auto dealers primarily, setting up business development centers, which really worked with the internet, and kind of fell in love with the whole concept of the world is right there in your computer. And started learning a lot about CRM tool, customer research management, and how people could take leads and really kind of optimize efficiently with the internet. So I started kind of teaching myself, and I loved that whole concept. And like I said, I kind of had my own company at the time anyway, so I just learned everything I could. And it kind of helped me get to where I am now. Whenever this idea presented itself, I was able to kind of take advantage of that with some thoughts based on my experiences.
Yeah. Now we can't tell them what the idea is yet, but we'll
Okay.
let them know what it is in a second. But the thing that I think was interesting is you had your first experience with OSHA in 2nd grade. They shut you down and on the yarn belt. Was the workplace environment not kosher? I mean, I think that's awesome.
I'm not really quite sure why the principal felt like he shut me down. I don't know. I started getting quite a few people involved, and maybe I left some people out. Who knows? Maybe it was like dodgeball is today, but it was great. It was a lot of fun, and I loved it.
I love it. Yarn belts, employing other classmates, then moving up to Christmas decorations.
That's
That
right.
is your path, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. But you speak to this desire, this yearning, this thing on the inside. It's like you saw a problem, and in fact, you understood your customer so much so. I don't know if people caught this, but you did yarn belts in school colors.
I did.
You didn't pick any other colors. You picked the school colors. And
Exactly.
I'm like, yes. You from a ripe young age, you were able to get, hey, this is what my customer wants. They want it in this color, because
That's very true.
And that same lesson, I'm sure, continues to go through. It's just awesome how we can get clues to these things from our past, et cetera, et cetera.
It's interesting. Yes. Great observation.
Now, as you go through, what exactly was the consulting business? Exactly what were you consulting upon?
So I did a lot of marketing and advertising and kind of helped my clients with their overall strategy, which again, I had to learn their business, what they were able to do, what their customers wanted, and how to get that message across to them, and help them do that. Basically advertising agency, but it was much more in depth. I actually helped with forecast and business plans. And then with the car dealers, it was really interesting because some of them at the time still didn't even have websites, and so it was really an interesting learning experience for me to go into. I had 17 at one point that I was working with, and that was really a great opportunity because I learned about fixed operations and what the auto customer was looking for, which has greatly helped me now. Which we'll talk about in a minute. But that's kind of what my business was in, and that allowed me the flexibility to be able to focus on their businesses during the day while learning everything I could about all these different types of companies, and then focus on my kids after school.
Yeah, that's perfect. And then what I love really about the whole thing is you designed a business around the lifestyle choice you were consciously making more than the other way around. As
yes.
Typically what typically happens. So
yes.
And I find that I'm sure that took a little bit of courage and foresight, vision, and a couple nights on the knees crying and praying and all those other things that go along with it.
You're right. You're exactly right.
So here's the question, because I'm sure right about now they're like, okay, Jay, what's We Go Look? I'm excited about it, and I think you guys are going to be excited about it too, because it answers a very common problem specifically for you real estate people. But I want to hear what you say We Go Look is, Robin, in your own words, because clearly this didn't start. I'm assuming it didn't start, trying to fill the need in the real estate space.
No. In fact, to explain it really quickly, it started with a friend who was looking at a high-end projector on eBay and wasn't sure if the seller was actually telling him the truth about it, just not intentionally misrepresenting the item, but more so didn't feel like the gentleman knew what he was talking about. And he said, I sure do wish I had someone to go look at that for me. And I said, well, there's got to be a company that does that with all the different types of people that are purchasing online now. This is back in 2009. So there's so many people that buy on eBay and do online transactions. There has to be. And did a little research and couldn't find anyone. And thought, wow, this is just really, there's a great need for this because, people obviously can't go look at it in person. And these long distance transactions, somebody needs to help mitigate that risk for them. And so that's where I created We Go Look. It's crowdsourcing, or the sharing economy is kind of the new buzzword with companies like Uber and Lyft, Airbnb, kind of making that popular, that term. But really what it is I have a group of almost 18,000 agents. We call them lookers, and they are nationwide, and we're also in a few other countries. And the customer is able to dispatch them on their behalf to take pictures, answer custom questions, take video. It's really to gather additional information on whatever item or asset it is that they'd like. It can be property or online date, auto, pinball machine, it doesn't matter. We pick up items as well all the time and take them and deliver them to a shipper. It can be items that have been purchased. It can be documents at a courthouse or police records. It depends on what somebody needs done. So we're basically this online platform where someone can just hop on our website and place an order and dispatch someone on their behalf to perform low complex tasks or capture basically dynamic data.
That's just awesome. And
Thanks.
it's so simple. It's great.
It is simple, and nobody was doing it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, "There's got to be a catch somewhere."
Right. You had to have this moment of like, okay, so no one, like literally nobody is doing this. Are you telling me I'm the one? And the answer is yes, you are the one, because business moves at the speed of trust. And don't get me wrong, I love technology. Use it all the day. We're using it right now to reach thousands of people in many different countries, etc. However, there comes a time that, depending on the dollar amount, you would just feel better knowing if you could see it, touch it, look at it, etc. So tell us about, because I'm sure the first, I got to hear, there's got to be a story behind that first customer that said, okay, I will pay you to have somebody go look at something.
Yes, it's imprinted on my mind. Hey, the first time that a real order came across the platform like it was supposed to and was sent out to the looker, and the looker accepted it and uploaded all the information, and it spit out this beautiful electronic report. You have no idea how excited I was. It worked because there was a lot of technology involved. But I'll tell you where the epiphany came, and that was, of course, when I started, I thought, oh boy, people are going to hear about this, and the eBay users are going to love it, and it's going to be easy. But it's not easy to get the word out there. Well, let's say it's not easy. It's expensive,
right?
Very expensive to promote that kind of service, especially when you're first to market. Because there are some auto inspection companies and there are property inspection companies. There's no one doing all of them or allowing you this customization and flexibility. That's where our platform, we have a mobile app, everything works together, and that's where our technology comes in. But where the epiphany came, sorry, I'm rambling, was when actually Hurricane Sandy, unfortunately, when it hit, we had a large bank ask us if we had anyone they could send in to verify some properties and take some pictures. And some of my lookers in that area were actually FEMA certified and able to go in past the barriers and take photographs and turn these reports around, in less than 48 hours. And so that kind of put us on the map because my logo was left on all of these reports. Well, then another big bank saw these reports. And then they told their smaller banks, they said, you need to use this company as a vendor. We love the way this report's laid out, which of course, going back to your point, we listened to the other customer on how they wanted all the information displayed and the exact questions they wanted answered and the photographs that they wanted. And so it kind of was a chain reaction. And I saw the opportunity kind of in a B2B fashion, in a B2B area, not to, take anything away from my individual customers, but I saw that's where I could actually gain some traction and maybe fund this business. Because, if I was to wait back then on individuals hearing about us and placing orders, it would take me a long time to pay my developers. So
right.
What's great is that kind of happened. And we've even progressed past that point now where we're replacing some large companies' actual employees in the field with our agents who are able to go perform on-demand tasks instead of having them there all day of their own employees. So it's really evolved into a neat company for individuals, B2B, and even large corporates, clients.
Yep. All this technology from the hotbed of Oklahoma.
That's right. Yeah.
Love it. I love it. But you also mentioned something that I want everybody to hear. You said pay developers. Would you consider yourself a techie?
Myself a techie? Honestly, no. I try to keep up with it, but definitely these guys who can take a blank computer screen and code against it, I've definitely learned what I can, but I wouldn't be able to go in and create a new application or new feature and code against what we have. I'm definitely not like that, but I'm 43, so I'm not what you would call a young person either, as far as like in today's standards of entrepreneurship and the cool, hip Silicon Valley type entrepreneurs. But I definitely try to keep up with it. I'm more versed at it than my family, and probably most of the state, I would say here. But I am not a techie. I'm a Trekkie, but not a techie.
Yeah, right. There you go. I like that one. See, I like her. She likes basketball, Star Trek. This is awesome.
Right, that's all right.
I'm like, come on. But my point is simply, oftentimes I hear people say, I can't do my idea because I don't know how to do this particular piece of it. And in your case, technology is like everything to how this thing works, but you didn't let that stop you.
No. And knowing the ins and outs of HR or taxes or anything like that, you can't let these small things get in the way of your prize or what your goal is. And I agree. I mean, it's easy to say, you know what, I don't know anything about that. You have to get outside of your comfort level, but you also have to hire competent people. And I've gone through some incompetent people to get to the ones that are really great and that you can trust. I mean, that's going to happen too. But, you're using basketball as an analogy. The coach isn't going to know everything about everyone. You have to have experts to make up your team. You can't do it all on your own. So you can't let that get in your way. I hear you, and I agree with you.
Now, I love asking questions. I love what I get to do. I just gotta know, because in going through your website, some things caught my attention, and I'm just like, huh? That makes what is an animal or a fashion verification? That just sounded interesting to me. I'm like, people want to verify their dog or their dress?
Yes.
I don't
seriously.
understand.
Okay, so this is kind of sad that we live in a society where people do take advantage of others, but it's very true. And especially like on the pets, you can go on any kind of website and look for different types of dogs, especially. People want to make sure that the animal that they're purchasing out of state is not in a puppy mill. And so they'll have us go take photos on site. They'll also have us take current photos of the parents, because it's almost like online dating. People will send in old pictures appearance or not the right ones. They want to make sure it's the right one. And then we also, unfortunately, have people, we recently helped an elderly lady. She was like 86 years old, and she had sent these people $900 deposit, and of course didn't get her dog, and was trying to send us to go find them and get the dog. And unfortunately, they didn't even live there. It was just all a scam. But if she had used us prior to sending the $900 deposit, she would have at least known that they weren't there. They wouldn't have met with us, or if they had met with us, we would have current information on them where she would be able to help prosecute. But anyway, that's what an animal verification is. And same on any type of fashion item. We've taken photos of fur coats, watches. Now, we can't verify or validate that it's a true, genuine designer. There's some really good fakes out there, but we can take photos, and whoever's looking at it should know.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Now, you know the next one I'm about to ask about. I know.
Well,
guess?
There's a lot. I would say probably, I know you want to talk about property, but I'm going to say you're probably going to ask about the online dates.
That you got it. You hit it. I'm like, what is a date verification? Are you following people around, making sure that they have a job? I mean, what is this?
Well, you would be also, you and I are using technology, and there are webcams out there, but unfortunately, a lot of people still don't use them. And, the people that initially will start searching these different online profiles, we have some people ask us to actually create this, because we're kind of an unbiased, third-party company, a report for them to let other people know that, hey, we've actually gone out and take photos. We'll typically meet like at a Starbucks or a local area and take current photos. This, again, is the real kicker here, not photos that were from high school. And I'll tell you, when I did online dating, I wish that we'd had a service like this in place. But anyway, yeah, and we have people, you would be surprised at the number of people that don't actually see someone live before they make these travel plans, or, somebody wants to send money. It blows my mind. People will do these type of things without any kind of verification, but they do. And so we're there to help. And if someone doesn't want to meet with us, that's a huge red flag. So it's kind of interesting, kind of fun.
Wow. I was just flabbergasted. Like, how does that work? It just didn't make, I'm like, hold on. So you arrange a time and you say, hey, look, I'm sending someone to take 15 pictures of you.
Yep. Before we meet, I want to verify that you are actually the person that's in the profile. I mean, it's better to send someone than it is to, I wouldn't have a problem with it if somebody needed, I would think that would be a great safety.
I love the idea. I just would have never. I mean, again, the world looks different to you through your eyes than it does mine, and so therefore, certain problems I would have never considered that as a product or service that needed to be in the marketplace. But after reading it, I'm like, oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. Can you imagine if we were on, let's just say Match.com, if part of the listing process, let's say that you're on there, you're going to list your profile, that you had a We Go Look verified report. You could actually be certified, and that would save a lot of women. They'd go, hey, this guy's actually already been checked out. He's the real deal. Versus these guys who say, oh, I can't show you my picture because I need to remain anonymous because I have a high profile. Guys do that too, and girls buy into it. I did once. Wow. Guys do that, and they, so that's it's true. Happens.
Wow, that in yours, yeah. I hope you guys are hearing the intelligent entrepreneur solving problems conversation going on right here, Robin. You are awesome. You are awesome. I love it. Okay, so now I've got to also know this because I know we have a number of listeners in various countries outside of the U.S. Where you said you mentioned that you were in a number of different countries.
Yes.
Where is that?
We have lookers in the UK, Australia, and Canada right now.
Got it.
So we can perform looks in any of those countries.
So let's talk about that for a second. What qualifies a person to be a looker?
Well, you have to, we have two different levels of lookers. We have a pro team and then we have our regular lookers. So based on if it's a corporate client who their contract requires a little bit more due diligence, then they're part of our pro team members. Mm-hmm. But all lookers have to pass a background check.
That's good.
Yes, definitely. We want this to be safe. And then our pro team members go through quite a bit of due diligence, county, civil. It's pretty intense. We even do work history. So, but they also receive the bulk of all of the orders in their areas. And we have one lady up in Chicago. She's performed over 1,000 looks for us. She's amazing. And we're working on incorporating some gamification this year, some fun badges and some rewards and different, fun things like that for our lookers. We have our own looker community.
Yeah.
We're looking to hire a community manager right now for that.
No doubt.
So we want them to be safe. And then we also have, of course, people that are auto inspectors, field inspectors, mobile notaries. We have professionals that are part of our group that are categorized as such. So if it's a property, then we will submit that to all of the people that fall under that category first with that experience before we send it out to maybe the teacher who's on summer vacation. Right. So it's pretty cool how we have our internal system set up and all the little algorithms that we have to assign looks.
So then basically, first of all, it sounds like you've just why wouldn't you? It seems like you have too few lookers. I mean, I say that meaning. No. Well, here's what I mean. What I mean is, it seems like you have room for it. You can cure the unemployment problem yourself. Is basically what I was saying. It's like if nearly, I mean, is there a state you're not in, like in the U.S.? I mean, can you believe such a service exists? I mean, if you're anything like me right now, you're all kinds of excited that someone out there came up with the idea and is making these things happen. That's the great thing about being an entrepreneur. Find a problem, find a way to solve it, for profit, and boom, business. Simple as that. Now, I know some of you may have not heard yet, so I'm going to let you all know. If you'd like to get a complimentary, that means free copy of the ebook, Cashflow Diary, 10 Steps to Creating Wealth in Any Economy, where I break down my business model and go through how you can do it too, all you got to do is send a text message to the number 72000. That's 72,000. Send the one word, book, BOOK. Follow the directions when you get it, and you will have a free copy of the ebook on your way. Now, I'm guessing at this point you're probably like, Jay, can you just get me back and find so I can talk to Robin? I want to know about the other places where she's doing business. You know what? Let's do that.
Oh no, we're in all the states.
That's what I thought.
There are always going to be some areas that we don't have coverage. And let's just say Spearfish, South Dakota is a great example.
Hold on. There's a prize for anyone who knows where that is without looking it up on a map. Okay, email me. Let me know.
Or is from there and wants to sign up to be a looker.
Yeah, there you go. There's the prize. Okay.
Yes. So what we do in those cases, I mean, there's always every municipality falls into some sort of jurisdiction in the United States. So it's counties, obviously state, county, city. So you'll have a sheriff's department if it's really rural. But so that we have different recruiting mechanisms that we have in place for those type of people where we find them online. But we really love people to apply, and especially if they have different types of backgrounds that we can use. Property, automotive is our largest category, followed by property and heavy equipment. So anyone with that kind of, especially like veterans, retired veterans, or retirees, we love people that have a little bit of extra time on their hands. We're here to help supplement their income and keep them busy too.
I like it. Dude,
yeah.
There's so much about this idea that I just love. Okay.
Thanks.
So now we can talk about the part that that originally got our attention. So that everybody knows what happened is in our private Facebook group, someone was talking about trying to find somebody to go look at a piece of property, and someone posted, "We go look as a solution." And then I started looking at the website and I'm like, I gotta talk to the person who made this.
Great. I love it. Love it.
And let everybody know, because I get the question all the time, Jay, because they know I live in California. Most of our assets are in Tennessee, Georgia, or sorry, not Georgia anymore, Tennessee, Colorado. And then we're working internationally as well on some additional projects. And people ask me, Jay, how do you know that the building is there?
Exactly. How do you know?
And I'm like, well, let me help with another resource. Because I, you can always, like you said, you can call the property inspector and all those other people, but sometimes you don't want to go through all of that, and other times you do. But I would love to know more how the property side works for you guys.
Oh, it's great. We are so beneficial, and I'll tell you why. When I created this product, everyone said, "Oh, you can charge a lot for this." I said, "I don't want to charge a lot for that entry-level report for someone who just wants that basic information. I want everyone to be able to afford this, so that they don't fall victim to any kind of scam, or they are armed with a little bit more information." So we have a basic property report that's just $69, where we go to the property, take current photos, like 10 photos, street views, neighborhood. We answer questions. If we see any major deferred maintenance, any kind of damage like that, we note that in our report. And so what that does is it gives the customer, the information on that property. Yes, it does exist. Yes, it's not burnt up like we have seen before with yellow tape that says "do not enter" across it. And so that it looks like the listing that you're looking online. Then we have more in-depth reports, depending on if you have access to the interior, you want us to go inside. We can FaceTime. That's the cool thing about us. You say, "You know what? I really want you to FaceTime me while I'm on site. I want to really get a good look at the property." There's a lot of different things we can do. It depends on the level of validation that the customer is looking for. We are not the company that you want. If you need to go, I need to know exactly how much it's going to cost to repair everything. We're not that company, but we can go help with that initial diligence to really help mitigate your potential risk for sure.
Yeah. And that's oftentimes all we're after. I mean, if we're buying something, guys, and you guys know, you see the condition of the properties you're purchasing. Most of them are already in bad shape. You don't need someone to tell you, "Hey, it's in bad shape." We just want to make sure it's not any worse than what we thought, and that it's still existing.
There you go.
And that's really what it comes down to. And for those of you who are tax lien people, I can see this being huge for you guys simply because of how well, let me ask this. How long... Say I enter a report today. Is this a 2-week thing, 2-day thing?
Nope. Our average turnaround time is 2.8 business days. We do have a rush service available. If you need it within 48 hours, that's an extra $35, which goes straight to the looker. And then we even have same-day service because we understand sometimes you're under the gun for some sort of auction, So we definitely can help with turnaround time.
Did you just say auction?
Well, depends on if some people
That's awesome. No, I'm just excited. I'm loving the idea. But I wasn't even thinking auctions, and you said auction, and I'm just like, oh my God, absolutely.
And we even have people have us go record like sheriff's auctions, like the actual, like we can go to the courthouses and pull documents on the property to make sure that, whatever type of information you have matches what the courthouse has. There's a lot of things that we can help people with when it comes to properties for sure. We can meet a plumber. We can verify if someone is doing construction for someone, and before they send another payment against some sort of draw, we can go verify that work's been completed. Depending on the size, you never know. If you're looking at a small investment, you might not want to do anything like that. But if it's substantial, for $69. We go look to go do all this for you. It's we go look for site improvement prior to people purchasing properties to make sure that there's not any kind of new construction materials on the site, so that there may not be any liens when on closing. You just start thinking about what we can do. If you had a brother-in-law or sister-in-law in that town, what could they do for you? And that's what we do.
Yeah, you just well, we will talk, because I'm running some very I have a large construction project right now, and I'm tired of, I don't want to fly back there anymore.
Exactly.
So, and I don't want, so if you've got people already there, then great.
Sure. And if you need a different level of expertise, that's where our back end works really well. So if you just need someone to go take pictures, I don't have to send a pro team looker. If you need someone to do a little bit more, then we'll send somebody who has actual property experience.
Yeah.
So it really works out well.
Man, and now you guys, hopefully you can hear it in my voice. I am fired up to know.
I love it. I'm so excited that you get it.
It's been, my world has been traveling to all of these destinations, because locally here, when we operate somewhere, I go there and I build the team, and then I go there and I build the team, and I go there and I build the team. It's not definitely the most efficient, but it's effective. Mm-hmm. I would love to have a way to do any part of that faster without necessarily having to bring on someone as a partner. So you allow me to do something that I typically can't do without bringing on a partner and just paying, quote unquote, a fee.
I love it. I love
pay
it.
that fee all day long. Are you kidding?
That's what we're here for.
She's like, yes, please do. No, guys, hopefully you could hear this. I know some of you have been sitting on the sidelines, especially those of you in the high priced areas, the California, the New York, the Hawaii, the New Jerseys, the DCs, and even those of you up in Canada, etc. I know you guys have been thinking of, how can I gain access just to make sure that it exists? Because we can do so much through, technology, but real estate is still local, and it still requires this stuff called paper, and we've got to find ways around it. And this is an excellent tool. Now, did I hear you say you had a mobile app?
We do. We have now. It's for our lookers right now,
okay.
and it's for when they're on site, and it allows us to actually submit the data in almost real time. But what it also does is it geotags all the photos, and it time and date stamps them. It's all within the metadata.
Yes.
So that if there's any kind of disputes, we have it captured at that moment. And it's also deleted from the agent's device, because we don't really want anyone's information stored on anyone's device. So when it's completed through and submitted through our mobile application, all of those things take place, because we are SOC Type 2 certified on our data security.
Nice.
And that's important, especially, we do a lot of work with commercial properties also.
Right.
We do business use. We have a ton of examples on our website, but we love property. We've, like I said, autos is our number one most looked at item, but properties is close second.
Well, after more people listen here,
yes, maybe it'll be number one.
This could change, because I can tell you that you have a ready and willing, able customer in anyone who does property. We just didn't know you existed, to be honest.
I'm so excited. I'm going to send you an award, and whoever emails you from Spearfish, South Dakota. I'm excited.
Yes, I know. Let's see if how that goes. That'll be interesting if that actually happens. Talk about the power of technology, right? Talking about power. Okay, so you've got, a number of years now looking back on this idea. I'm just going to take a stab and say what it is today is not what you originally saw. So are you proud of your baby here?
I'm very proud. I've got to tell you, we had a gentleman, one of the founders of Priceline. He is also an investor of Dropbox and Redfin. He was here last week to see us. He's never been to the state of Oklahoma. And I picked him up and I dropped him off. And I've just been kind of in la la land ever since, because he came to see We Go Look, and it made me so proud of my team here. I have the most amazing crew. I've got 52 employees in our office here. And not to mention our lookers who are fantastic. We have such amazing agents out in the field, and good relationships with them. But I think knowing, like what you said, where we started and where we're at, the fact that we're actually changing the way that the world works, and what I mean by that is these large companies, especially it's one of the nation's largest insurance companies, we're replacing some of their field agents. And that's huge. I mean, that's an actual shift in how people conduct business with their employees. And I would never have, it never crossed my mind. I always thought we would be kind of a vendor services thing, and we are. But there's just a couple of, it's kind of like our gold, silver, and platinum type levels, if you will. There's different levels to us. And that's exciting. I'm like wondering what's going to be next, because it's very fun around here. Stressful and fun.
No doubt. And just a side note, Robin, many people haven't been to the state of Oklahoma.
Well, okay. Good point. Good point.
However, the fact that you did give somebody a reason to go.
There's lots of reasons. You guys need to all come see us. Yes.
No doubt. No doubt. So I guess then the question becomes, where do you see, Weagle look, I don't know, just even 5 years from now, which is kind of hard to do for a tech company, right? You're like, 5 years, how about just 6 months? I mean, that's enough.
Oh yeah. No. In my mind, I've got us in our own cool building with obviously a lot more employees, but definitely a global presence. I want to be able to offer looks not just in English-speaking countries, because I'm limited to that kind of right now. But I just think it would be so cool to be able to offer a look anywhere in the world. And can you imagine? I mean, I know we already save people from other countries the travel expense and saving them, from falling victim to any kind of misrepresented item now. But, the whole custom tasking and changing the way the world works, like I mentioned earlier, I see us being a global force and people learning more about us, and becoming part of, like you said, part of that efficiency. We all need things faster. And heck, if you don't have to do it and you can just pay someone, it would be cheaper for you to have us do it than for you to go fly somewhere. Or even mess with trying to hire someone to do it. So I see us being definitely in more countries and being part of the culture, a little bit more embedded in the culture.
Yeah, totally understood. Well,
and I also see a doggy daycare at our office. I want to bring my dog to work, which I can't do right now.
I love it. She's like, I miss my dog. So that's it. We're going to get our own building so we can have a dog.
That's right.
Hey, you make the rules. I like it that way. So now that you've begun to be successful at attracting financing and investment, etc., the true test is when you see the first person that's the copycat or competitor in any way,
yes.
shape, or form. Have you reached that stage yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
But you know what? I kind of welcome it, and I'll tell you why. Because it will just bring that much more. Somebody would have to come in with a lot of money, which means they would have to come in with a lot of marketing to get to where we are with our customers and with our getting these people into your database, used to your system. It's not an overnight thing.
No.
But I would love it because it would just bring that much more attention to the fact that these type of services are out there. So and again, I think it's a fantastic service for the community in general. So I am not opposed to competition ever. I mean, you and I talked a little bit about basketball.
Yeah.
I love sports, and I love to play against someone who's really good.
Right. It's the only person I want to play against.
I'd love to play against somebody, and I would want them to be good.
Yeah, right.
That makes it fun.
That she just threw down the gauntlet for those of you listening. She's like, come one, come all, but bring your A game because she's going to bring hers too.
Exactly.
And I love it. I love it. I love it because that's what it takes, guys. We're out there. Being a superhero is no easy task for anyone. So, Robin, for those who are listening and probably are like, man, I need to do something about this, what would be the next best step for them to get more in touch or understanding how to take advantage of what you guys have to offer?
Well, they definitely visiting our website. We have different categories. If they're looking for something in a certain type of industry, in particular, we have those. We have individuals, and we have kind of our enterprise solutions as well. But we have a contact us form. I'm happy to talk with anybody offline with any questions they have. We have a great customer service staff here, but if you do have entrepreneurs out there that have those kind of questions, I'm happy to answer those as well. I still work a lot in business development. I have a vice president of business development now, but I work very closely with everyone here. So I'm happy to help answer questions. We have, like I said, a great staff here to do that as well. But our website's pretty self-explanatory. You can place orders online, but you can also call and ask questions, specific questions. It's pretty simple, actually. Awesome. I try to make it easy.
Please. I appreciate that. I totally appreciate that. All right. So, last question here. So let's pretend for a second that there's a person who's standing outside the superhero store, ready to pick out their outfit. They think, boots, no boots, cape, no cape. They're thinking about it, and they're just, I think I can, not really sure. Is now the right time? All of those questions that you've answered long, long ago. What would you say to that person right now?
I think one of the things that I have learned and that I love and I'm very humble except for one thing, and that is to not give up. Sometimes I feel like, especially with technology, you feel like you're up against a brick wall and you're talking about your superhero cape. Sometimes you have to get a different weapon out to keep punching through that wall. You're like, how thick is this wall? But then at some point you break through it, and you have some time before the next brick wall. But you have to keep going through them, kind of like Donkey Kong going up the ladder.
Nice.
Sometimes I feel like that's how it is, but you can't. Sometimes you just want to, why am I doing this? And then you just keep going. And I'm telling you, you're blessed that much more. I've learned that the moment you're depleted and you're tired and you're like, what the heck, is when you are blessed right after that with something unimaginable. And it seems like it always just gets bigger and bigger. It's just kind of bizarre, but that's what I would say.
I love it. I love everything about it. It's true.
Thanks.
So much of what we're looking for is on the other side of that struggle. And
I think so. It is for me anyway.
Well, I can say and confirm that your experience is not unique in that regard, for sure.
Good.
For sure. I want to say thank you for taking the time to invest here with us.
I loved it, and I'm so happy that you're excited about our company, and I just appreciate the opportunity to share kind of our story and the talking about the team here. I appreciate that so much.
You're quite welcome.
You have to come to Oklahoma. I'll take you to a Thunder game.
Ooh.
How about that?
Now she's talking, people. I might be in Oklahoma soon. She's talking basketball. I'm in there.
There you go. Let me know.
Don't play.
I'm not playing.
Somehow I believe her. This is good. This is great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. It's time for you to go get it done. Get over to wegolook.com. Why? Because you have been making an excuse, and I told you it was going to be gone by the end of this particular episode. Now it's gone. You have no choice but to write that offer, because you now know how you can get someone to go look at the property and make it happen. Guys, it's been fun talking to you today. I look forward to talking to you soon. Until next time.